Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LTA North. Spring 2025.
We're going to see if Dig is going to go for this, if XU, is going to go for this. They have spotted him out.
Warded out. Okay, this could be dicey. Now that they know he's here, I feel like this is a tough one. Who he wants to try to dive in there, but immediately going to be knocked up into the air. Vulcan doing a great job. It's first blood over to Cloud9. Disguised will get what they came for, but the cost is extreme as XU tries to escape, and that cow is about to become a carnivore. XU slams him into the wall to try to buy a little time, but Vulcan's going straight to the bank with it.
Yeah, Vulcan lose this dragon as well. We'll see if DSG can find an angle.
Vulcan wants to keep XU away. Nice steal from XU, though. Early smite from Blabber gets punished, but now XU in some serious danger as Cloud9 should be able to pick up a free kill on the Skarner without a flash. Abadaga also dropping in the picture-in-picture. You could see he was dueling with Loki, returning to the grub pit, wanting to take these last couple of them here as the fifth one is secured by Blabber. Now Deadly Flourish onto XU as Blabber and Vulcan are ready to be engaged. Three-man pulverize coming out from the Alistar. Abadaga wants to knock him away. Meanwhile, the 1v1 down in the bottom lane as Castle takes out Thanatos, but C9's looking to take the fight up here on the top side. A little bit more damage is going to finish off Blabber, but he's still staying alive. Another re-engage coming out from Vulcan. The curtain call opens up, but nobody undisguised is dead just yet. Sven keeps shooting. Sven keeps missing.
And you can see Vulcan's getting down there, and they just forced the pool. So now it's actually really risky for Castle, who has no flash or ignite. I think they're going to dive Castle on the bot side with Vulcan.
Yeah, Loki should just be dead up here. Meanwhile, down in the bottom lane, they are looking to make that play onto Castle, who wants to try to get away. A little bit more damage still required. He's about to get the empowered transfusion, but it's too little, too late. Thanatos gets revenge, 1-for-1 trade across the map.
Yeah, really good play there from Vulcan. Gets down towards that bottom side. As soon as the pool was used by Castle, Thanatos just had to trade aggressively, force out the pool, and then there's really nothing that Castle can do about this because he had already used his summoners in that 1v1, had used his ultimate. In the next one is harder and harder and harder, and that's happened multiple times, and now they're looking.
Yeah, they're going after Scary Jerry. Thanatos wants to go in with a little bit of needlework, needs a little more damage, and he ain't going to find it. Now XU's about to be the one to pay the price. Sven takes him down. The curtain call looking for Jerry, and it's a double kill over to Sven. Mr. Useful finds his role, and the Jin gets paid.
Yeah, nicely done. Nails the ultimate there. Scary Jerry looked for the bullet time, but he realized the people in front of him just died. So now he has no one to actually block on the curtain call. So he had to get out of there in a hurry. DSG do at least take down the tower in the bot lane, so they're going to be able to get some Mr. Useful.
It's actually not a bad score at all.
Not
for a character that they make fun of and meme about how he doesn't do anything. I would love to have a 70% win rate on a character that technically, I think I actually used to back when I played Skarner, because I used to always tell people he didn't do anything.
That's true.
So sometimes you just have to doubt your own champion enough. And then the reverse psychology kicks in as now a ton of damage just completely deletes Huhi off of the rift. And that means that Blabber is ready to drive this Herald straight on through mid lane. Tier 1 turret instantly destroyed. The Void Mites march and hop and jump their way onto the Tier 2. And now a second wave is ready to spawn. Meanwhile, Vulcan is continuing the fight, pressuring XU away from his red buff. This not really very comparable there with the second item as Abadaga summons up the Sun Disc, trying to survive as Blabber and Thanatos want to find the angle here on the disguised mid laner. He has his jungler coming down to help him, but a little bit of needlework looks for the slow. Vulcan wants to catch. Oh, Blabber just barely doesn't have the range to land the Glacial Prison, but it does not matter. The rest of the team is there. Sven grabbing the first kill. The curtain call looks to farm the second, but he's not going to hit the shot, and Thanatos gets it. Now Huhi's got to try to run as Vulcan and Blabber take up positions in the enemy jungle. C9 is so far ahead now, they are just seeing champs, clicking champs, killing champs.
Yep, objective bounties spawning soon is always that. Oh, you hate to hear it. We do see Castle pushing up on the top side, but Otacon is going to be gone down here on the bottom side, and that is just going to be C9 getting further and further ahead. And it is not the GA Otacon, it is the much better one. They grab Ruinous, so they are going to be able to farm up those roses.
Yeah, I mean, I take personal offense to that. I've used that icon as my profile picture since like the very beginning of League of Legends.
Maybe it's something to do with you.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, Disguise, come on, fellas. Let's be a little bit polite here. Up. Yeah. Well, C9 is definitely not taking too kindly to Disguised either. They are completely forcing them out of their own jungle as Huhi, Scary Jerry, and XU all just have to run back inside the base walls. This Tier 2 turret that they slammed the Herald into earlier, that thing is already gone. C9 has taken a
ton.
The gold lead's actually like 10,000. It's not 7.5 because of just the additive
and
stats
all the XP
from
as
all
well.
Of that. Yeah, I mean, every individual level in League of Legends gives you what, around like 500 golds worth of stats? Oh boy, hold on. I can't even talk about it before who he's already down. Abbedagga throws out the ulti, trying to keep C9 at bay, but XU is under pressure. The Sun Disc isn't going to hold. The Skarner tries to flash away. A little bit more damage is required, and Loki provides. Sven opens up the curtain call, then just gives the emote. He thought he would need to snipe down the enemy jungler, but it's already taken care of by a shot in the air from his own mid laner.
Yeah, opens up the curtains. That is too bright. Closes that back
pull
up.
them right back together. Get the blackout curtains in there.
Yes, sir. You don't want that glare on your monitor.
The sun is too bright early on in the morning.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
we do not want that natural wake-up call.
No, sir.
And it is not a bright morning in disguised skies right now, man.
Stormy skies, man.
All clouds and gloom and doom, and just, it's a good day to go back
looking
to
like it's
sleep
about that
here
time.
in game one. Yeah, but it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll go ahead and call it here.
It a day.
It's tough for them, but I mean, hey, it's first versus last from our first phase, and Cloud9 is making it look exactly as you would expect. Castle wants to go in and find the burst here onto Thanatos, maybe start this fight off right, but it's still going to be a 1-for-1 trade at the very start. Vulcan needs to get away from Abbedagga. Nice use of the Deadly Flourish to root up the disguised mid laner, but Blabber's got to be a little bit careful here. Castle is the main threat, does get the empowered transfusion, but Sven is fearless, skips over the wall to provide the follow-up. Castle tries to get away with the pool, but he's not going to have the survivability in time. XU's now the next target as C9 fully pulls away from the Baron and is ready to engage in the fight. Vulcan with a nice headbutt pull to knock XU up into the air as Sven follows for a 4th shot and sends that Scorpion straight to hell, who he wants to re-engage. And finally, they're going to shut down Loki. Sven very low, and Scary Jerry gets the kill, but now it's Huhi and Abbedagga against the remainder of Cloud9. Scratch that, it's just Huhi, and Blabber and Vulcan are not going to let that stand. It's a 2-for-5. C9 gets the ace.
Yeah, C9 does get the ace. At the very least, they got a couple kills on the other side, but this is the Baron Loki pile in. Castle goes down very early, and you're kind of thinking at this point that this could just be a clean ace. So this could be absolute domination. XU then pulling Blabber back
to get the kills on the 280 carries. But now C9 is back in business, and business is booming up here in the top lane as they're putting the work in on this remaining tier 2 turret. Meanwhile, Thanatos just standing by over in mid, ready to crash a wave into the first tier 3 that C9 looks to take down in mid. Castle's going to be the one to walk over and try to respond to that, but the tier 3 turret is already at death's door.
Yeah, I mean, it is really, really hard when you're in these spots. Basically, you have to bounce it back and forth between these waves and just fully attack and clear out the one wave, then get back towards mid lane as that wave comes in, because the waves aren't synced up here for C9, so they're going to look.
He wanted to go in, but he misses it. He wanted the quickness with a grand entrance, but he can't quite find Loki. Now Vulcan gets disengaged, but that's Abbedagga's ulti only for the enemy support. Disguised is forced off of the top lane tier 3 turret, while mid is already broken in half. Thanatos has claimed the inhibitor before the fight even fully finishes. Now the top lane inhib's about to drop as well, and C9 puts super minions in 2 lanes at the same time. Now Disguised, down a lot of their big ultis, are going to have to try to continue to hold.
Yeah, and look at bot lane. They even have bot lane on a slow push there, so Thanatos is just going to go over towards bot lane. He's going to be able to catch that wave, push that in, and they're going to look to triple inhib. DSG trying to fight.
Okay, XU looking to find Blabber, but that's not the right target. The Sejuani is so tanky. Vulcan now just trying to play a little bit of interruption as XU is already killed, and now Castle's going to be your next target. Thanatos joins up with the rest of C9, and the needlework is doing the work right there. Castle down as Scary Jerry and Huhi try to get away, but Gwen is not going to tolerate it. A little bit more damage, pulls Disguise back just slightly to try to get the kill, but it's Sven, the only one adding more stats to that kill column. C9 made this look exactly like you would expect it to look. 22-6, 29 minutes in, they slam game 1.
Nicely done there by C9.
C9 feel very limited in this draft.
Yeah, they are very limited. I mean, it's like
Renekton stun.
Flash Renekton stun. You know, the dog just goes in.
For C9. Abbedagga, I feel like, has had a lot of struggles so far this split in terms of making a meaningful impact in a lot of the games, as XU immediately forced to flash away, but still stunned up. C9 going all the way in here, needs one more shot, and it's first blood at 47 seconds.
On his base was a ruby crystal, right? So now he goes back and gets the catalyst. So he was obviously forced to base quite early, and I think that's part of the reason why he was kind of lane lock there, where Abadaga was able to get the push, and then get the push again. That earned them the
on that, but it looks like this time around, they're not willing to let the same thing go down. Disguise has already acquired the first. They're going to get the second. Vulcan wanted to get the interrupt there with the Glacial Fissure. Meanwhile, it looks like a catch on Loki results in the first kill of the game for Disguised. A trade of ultis down in the bottom lane just kind of results in a meaningless back and forth as both champions are still at about half HP, and Disguised wins out 2 grubs for 1, 1 kill for none in the top side scrap.
Yeah, I really like that. They knew there was no flash. Now another fight.
We're not done yet. Vulcan getting into a little bit of trouble here alongside Blabber, who, remember, has no flash. He gets caught out by the Solar Flare, and XU jumps over the wall, setting it up for Abadaga. One more hit from the 3-talent strike of the Braum might just set up another kill as Vulcan is knocked over and Disguised go up 3-1. In that game that they did get their first win in, and I feel like him being able to perform, him being able to impact the game in a meaningful way is so critical for this team to have success.
Exactly. I mean, it's also, coincidentally enough, the same KDA for Flowers on Skarner versus off Skarner.
Yeah, actually, I think it's probably lower than 0.9 if I'm not playing Skarner. It's pretty bad as Castle is in some danger up here in the top side. Thanatos and Blabber working together to end his world, and that they shall do. Slice and dice sure feels nice. Thanatos getting the second kill of the game for C9.
Yeah, going to be able to grab a kill, and this one is going to hurt because there's the plates going to be farmed after that. Grabs one plate, may be able to grab a second. DSG are going to try to make a play on the other side of the map. You can see them all moving down here to try to threaten Loki. Vulcan already there hovering. And because the Hex Gates are there, Blabber's almost back. So Blabber is out on the map a lot faster than they may expect. Let's see if they can pull it off.
Okay, Loki and Vulcan got to try to defend this as He is ready to jump in with the Zenith Blade. A lot of burst down into Loki, but he's still not dead yet. Flashes very late. Vulcan still somehow staying alive. The wind becomes lightning. Tries to secure the kill, and it's a double kill over to XU. Yes, he will fall, but it's still a dub for Disguise.
Yeah, nicely done there. At the end of the day, it is just like a 2-for-2 trade, but they're making the aggressive play. They're getting the TP out, so the fact that they actually get that TP out, I thought this was going to go.
Bottom lane, Thanatos is just going to continue scrapping with Castle. Even though he gets hit by the Q3, he's still happy to slice and dice in there, keep the trade going from an elongated period of time. As back in mid,
Blabber's behind
looks like this turret should go down. They'll just go ahead and force that one out with the Rift Herald as
tale of 2 lanes. It is the gold lead for Abadaga versus the gold lead for Thanatos, and DSG are continuing to play through side lane. They need to do this. I don't want to see them just group 5 and team fight because I think they're going to lose. So I want to see them continue to extend the lead, utilize Abadaga, play through side lanes. If they work, like I said in Champ Select, if you just win all your lanes and you show up to the objectives, your opponents try to walk into you, you just kind of poke them out as they're walking in, and then you kind of win the fight that way. But they didn't win all their lanes this time, and DSG is actually being very competitive, so now you're seeing those weaknesses. Right now, though, C9 is just going to try to trade. You can see Victor slapping that tower up down up in top lane, down in the lower third. You can see that. And at the same time, DSG are going to be able to grab the dragon. They're going to be able to grab a tower of their own. And Abadaga is just getting richer. DSG already starting this up, but there's 2 wards that are spawning it right now. The pink, because of where it's placed, doesn't see over that wall because the wall is between it and the ward. So that's why it's not actually spotting that ward there.
Ooh, Sven getting away there as the Infernal Chains from Castle find him over the wall. Disguised still keeping it up here after the Otacon.
This is so
have
risky.
It down to about half HP. Yeah, this is very risky. Otacon eats through the resistances like crazy. Teleport coming in from Thanatos as Cloud9 is ready to contest. Abadaga finds Loki. Nice amount of burst into the Cloud9 mid laner, but Thanatos is going after Abadaga. That's a very valuable target there as Thanatos takes down the MVP. And C9 now ready to take the fight afterwards. He is low as Scary Jerry tries to get away from the crocodile, but there's no way out. That dude rules the river. It's a triple kill for Blabber as Castle's the last man standing on the Disguise, and the question is answered. Thanatos is him.
Yeah, Thanatos is going to reign supreme.
And the only gold lead left on Disguised for individual roles is Abadaga on the rise, but a nice interrupt there on Thanatos as he tried to slice away. The third Talon strike collided, and so yeah, with the Renekton not having a way to heal up and get back to the fight, do C9 actually have to surrender this? Blabber's saying no. He's taking the Hex Gate going behind him, but now Sven and Loki in some danger as Sven goes over the wall, but he's surely to die here. Enough damage comes through, and Abadaga's doing the killing as Loki tries to get out, but Scary Jerry takes him out. C9 on the run as Disguise continue their chase, and Vulcan's going to be the next target. C9 too overconfident. They wanted to stick around. round when their raid boss was half HP and Disguised had the gear to clear, they will earn themselves a win in this fight and they will earn themselves soul point.
Man, I'm even more impressed. You know, the fact that they were able to get some early advantages, that happens sometimes in these games, but it is very rare to see a bottom team fighting back from a big gold deficit like that. They get the initial chunk onto Thanatos, they're able to punish him, and then when they see the Hex Gate getting taken, they're going over the wall, and now they're going to commit to the Baron. They're saying, you know what? No TP on Loki, let's just send it.
This is some killer instinct from Disguised, and I am loving what I'm seeing. Blabber jumps over the wall, but he's met with a control ward and Huhi just waiting for him if he tries to enter. Now the Baron down to about 4,000. Blabber thinking about trying to go in for the steal as Huhi's going to be the target as C9 arrives. They immediately jump in, finding a ton of damage down into Abadaga, but they can't kill him off here just yet. Thanatos has made his way into the back line, killing off XU. Abadaga's going to fall. Scary Jerry 2. Only 2 left alive on Disguised as C9 may have lost the Baron, but the punish is downright disastrous. Huhi surely dies here, and that means there's only one man standing left on Disguised with the Baron buff, and it's Castle's Aatrox.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I respect the commitment. You talked about, you know, Loki flying the plane into the mothership, taking him down. Really this is because he just kind of walked in, maybe, you know, thinking he could just kind of zone them out and then they could get the Baron and the rest could get out. But because he didn't have his flash, he just died. He is on 3 items with the Zonias, 2.3k gold lead. And they still do have the Baron on 1. There's a TP coming in, though. They are going to spot it. Can DSG get out?
C9 trying to go in for this one. The aggressive Glacial Fissure finds Huhi, knocks him up into the air in the first kill, finds Disguised support. Now Thanatos is still trying to make it.
1v1 got massively ahead, and things have kind of just gotten worse because Thanatos has been picking up kills. Castle hasn't gotten anything.
All right, Disguised thinking about contesting the enemy blue buff, but not going to find it. Blabber going in. They want to go after Scary Jerry, but they don't have enough damage here at the start. Blabber needs to use the Hound's Pursuit to try to get away. He's nearly dead. Shut down by Scary Jerry. Disguised kills the enemy jungler with 25 seconds until the Dragon Soul.
Yeah, that's smelling like a DSG Dragon. We'll see if they can get it. There are some low health bars, though. Abadaga is going to push up, but Thanatos is moving over to him. If Abadaga gets caught out, this could be awkward. They're going to try to look for him.
Yeah, Thanatos looking for the rise. The rest of C9 trying to put the pressure on Disguise to make it so they can't help their mid laner, but Disguise now ready for the re-engage. Castle has found Loki, and the Victor is in a tough spot. Abadaga looking to cut off the bottom lane of Cloud9 as Loki is trapped in his own stasis, has to flash over the wall to try to stay alive. Scary Jerry under pressure. Thanatos doing the work. The man refuses to lose. He's already killed 2. XU with the flashback over the wall, and Thanatos will not be denied. Another hit comes through. A double kill for Sven. Thanatos is just winning the game 1v9.
That is not a crocodile. That's Godzilla in the back line. Thanatos
got to go about 40%, but they are really slowing this down, and it looks like they might not be able to fully secure it. Thanatos has got to be careful here. Now it looks like Disguise might have found the pick that they need. The Dominus gets procced. He's still got his Guardian Angel. No, he doesn't. Thanatos is shut down, but now Castle's got to try to get away. Huhi's going to be the target as Sven takes him out. XU and Huhi have already fallen, but the trade is Thanatos.
Yeah, the trade is Thanatos, but Castle could base and TP back, so I still think they can potentially contest this. We'll see if they're going to try to walk in here. It would be a 3v4, but they do have the teleport. They still have Abadaga, who's their strongest member.
Okay, the Baron's down to about 2,000 here. Blabber should just be able to smite secure this. Easy peasy. C9 locking that up as Abadaga wants to try to get away, but he's stunned before the Realm Warp goes through. Abadaga with a critical mistake there at the very end. He's been having such a good game overall, I feel, but getting picked off there, now dead for 50 seconds as C9 is armed with the Baron. Thanatos is still dead, but he'll be up in 15, and he has a teleport ready as soon as he spawns.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough to hold here. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it. Blabber's already in the base behind them, by the way. He hopped over the wall here, and he's trying to threaten that flank onto Scary Jerry, making it so he can't even step up to clear the wave, or he would just die. So now they're going to have to give up the inhib for free, and they're just going to have to try to turtle it up here, wait it out at the Nexus for Abadaga, but there's a teleport from Thanatos. C9 wants the end.
Disguise is without their strongest player for the next 15 seconds, and Thanatos is going to lead the charge here for Cloud9, but a lot of damage down onto the Croc, and he's already out of the picture. Nice defense from Disguise, but C9 are not done yet. Huhi low.
Only had a chance to scale, but DSG have shown they have that never say die attitude in this game. They have been continuing to look for plays. They have been continuing to look for fights. Right now, they're going to try to trade on top side. So I think they've decided, you know what, we're going to give up this dragon. We're going to try to play through Abadaga, go for the split push. I do like this. He has the death cap. You know, maybe he can catch someone in the side lane, try to get something back. At the very least, we'll get that isolated gold onto him. And will he continue to
his
push?
way back into the mix? His Castle's ready to intercept them, finds a couple of Qs. Thanatos slicing forward. The Aatrox honestly dealing with this Fed Renekton pretty well at this point in the game. We're got so late into the game now that Thanatos may have met his match. He's bursted down, but he's not killed quite yet. Finally knocked into the Guardian Angel as XU jumps on top of Loki, trying to protect Scary Jerry, but Jerry's already fallen. Blabber takes out Huhi as Thanatos and the rest of Cloud9 scramble to try to stop the solo laners of Disguise. Abadaga falls, Disguised is erased off of the map. The only thing C9 lost was a Guardian Angel, and this game is done.
Cloud9 make it happen at the end of the day.
I thought we were going to get some comms. We didn't. That's all right. C9 on their victory push. They're going to make this one a victory 2-0, 26-12. Disguised made them work for it here in the second game, but C9 remain victorious.
At least we won, guys.
Nicely done by C9, 2-0, but definitely, like you said, made him work for it. This